First and foremost, this show was fantastic. I'm so grateful for the show that we got today at Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. Anyways, welcome back to DBW. I am Jen, and today we're here to talk about Crown Jewel early in the morning here in the United States. Let's get into it, all right? Now, this is the first Crown Jewel outside of Saudi Arabia. And let me tell you something, guys. This was a really great show. And it started off with the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus the Tribal Thief Big Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. Man, I can't say for certain what I was expecting from this match, but I don't know. I don't know what changed in like the few short days or even this short month from WrestlePalooza, which I rated also pretty fairly, I feel like. But this card was simply fantastic. And Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns, right? So let's break it down. Roman Reigns, gravitas, OTC, right? He's huge, right? The gravity of the room is surrounding him, right? Big Bronson Reed, he's got a mountain to climb, right? But this match went from cricket bats to tables to ring barricades and everything. And Bronson Reed walked out with the victory, which I feel was the right call because Roman had beat him last time. They're now 1-1 with each other. And Bronson's now the third person to pin Roman Reigns in the last few years. That sets him up for something really big. And if WWE was able to capitalize on that, Bronson Reed would be into a huge, like, whole nother stratosphere, right? Of actual, you know what I'm saying? This match was a banger. But it was the opening match. And I wouldn't particularly say this is the match you should watch this card for. If you love Roman Reigns, then by all means, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. But, man, Jey Uso, being involved the way he was, costing Roman the match. This was a big, big deal. And I don't know what this is setting up for. This is setting up for an Uso heel turn or Roman Reigns. He's not really a heel anymore, but he's not particularly the good guy right now either. It's hard to say, but I do like it. So I'm going to rate this match a solid 9 out of 10. I give 9 out of 10. It was a really good match. The spots were great. The finish was great. The storyline build-up was great. Cinema, all that classic Bloodline stuff. If you like it, check it out. I'm going to move on to the next one. Next, we had Tiffy versus Steph, the Women's World Champion and the WWE Women's Champion for the Women's Crown Jewel title. Man, let me tell you. I wasn't expecting a lot from this match. I've never been the biggest Tiffy fan. I don't mean to be a detractor. I'm just sharing my thoughts and honest opinions. I've never been a big Tiffany Stratton fan. She actually had me early on when she first got called up, but she started losing me because she hasn't been improving on the mic. She hasn't really been improving her character work. A lot of her stuff has gotten stale, but this is not a knock to her wrestling ability, which I admit is there. But this match felt as though Stephanie was the star, and it shouldn't feel that way when you're both champions because Stephanie is the one who won. She was victorious, and I feel like that was the right decision. Stephanie was the one who should have won a Crown Jewel because they're positioning her to be the next big star, right? But Tiffany, that was your position as well, and now I feel as though it's slipping a bit. And while this match was good because we had tons of great spots, flips and Devil's Kiss, all that, right? It was great. But I just don't enjoy the whole champion versus champion thing when they're not equal. The titles aren't equal, right? So it felt as though they were just trying to get Tiffany out of the way. And while I like the match, I can't rate it that highly, just based off of the factor that Tiffany Stratton has been floundering so much that it's really starting to hurt the credibility of the title and the Crown Jewel title as well. She needs to drop the title. She needs to drop it badly. People aren't with the character anymore. She has a lot to revamp and redo, and I think it's a good time to do it because I want to know what you're able to do without the championship. And it's not a knock at Tiffany Stratton. I just believe that it's going to take some more time. She wasn't as quick of a project as they thought she would be. And, let's give her some grace for that. Stephanie seems to be on the fast track. Let's strap that rocket to her and send her on. But Tiffany, you're gonna have to drop the strap at some point. It's just not working. I'm going to rate this match, unfortunately, a 5 out of 10. And it was a good match. This is a 5 out of 10 purely for the match itself. It was great, but this has just been so unfortunate to watch for Tiffany Stratton. She didn't even look like she was a star in this match at all. She just looked like she was the one who was sent out there to lose to Stephanie. Very unfortunate. If I was going to be generous, and I would say a 6 out of 10, but I'm going to rate it a 5 out of 10. We need to see something different from Tiffany, and we need it badly. Let's move on. This was the match of the year. And it's over. And we got exactly what we needed from this. Exactly what I felt I deserved as a fan. What I felt we deserved as an audience. What I thought Triple H should have delivered to us was delivered to us. If you love wrestling as a whole, this match will move you. And from our legends, our dearly departed performers, this was an homage to them and an homage to us. And I'm grateful to see these two lace the boots together one last time. From AJ Styles' attire to the way the great Alicia Taylor was expressing what we were seeing to us, to the moves we saw, to the sheer dedication to performing that we got. This is probably one of my favorite matches of all time. And it has nothing to do with it being a finisher fest. It has nothing to do with it being a spot fest or any of that. It's all simply because this was a match meant for wrestling fans. And if you've enjoyed wrestling your entire life, this is a match that you need to see. It didn't matter if you were a kid who watched WWE or you were a kid who caught Impact back 2006, back 2007. This was for you. This was not that WWE AJ Styles. This was the leader of the Bullet Club. This was the TNA AJ Styles taking on WWE's hero for a lot of children. I'm going to rate this match 10 out of 10. And if you watch any match, watch this. Watch this. I'm not even going to get too deep into it and talk about what really happened in this match. You need to see with your own eyes. If you don't care about the rest of the card, that's fine. I'm going to keep talking about them in detail, but watch this. Do yourself a favor and watch this match. Thank you, John Cena. Thank you, AJ Styles. Let's move on. Next up, we have the Kabuki Warriors versus Io and Rhea. And guys, can I be honest about this match? I like this match a lot. And the finish, I feel like, was what we really needed to see. Because Io and Rhea in the world title picture for so long has just been draining on so many fans. And it's just like, we were expecting something new. And I'm glad we got something new with this. Because I was expecting possibly maybe Io heel turn. Like Io would, turn on Rhea. And she would realign herself with the Kabuki Warriors. And they would become a heel faction similar to Damage Control and things like that. But I'm glad they didn't go that route, because Io and Rhea as a team is what the women's division's tag team scene needs more than the world title division. And look, Io and Rhea are both, multiple time world champions. So I'm not pressed to see them back in the title picture again. I'm going to be honest. I think Stephanie Vacour is a great world champion. Maybe we can build some new competition for her, rather than recycling the same few matches with Rhea and Io. And I get that they're the two most popular women on the roster right now, but at the same time, it's not something I need constantly over and over and over. If you guys agree with me, let me know in the comments. I'm definitely interested in taking this conversation further. But man, I'm glad we got the finish that we needed. Io and Rhea came out on top, and I think that was for the best because I was not a major fan of the idea of a heel turn. I'm glad we didn't get one. So, guys, I'm going to rate this match a solid 8 out of 10. Tons of good spots. Tons of high-flying moments, especially from Io and Kairi. Great. And the crowd was electric. The crowd was, Rhea comes out, the crowd's going to go berserk. The Kabuki Warriors versus Io and Rhea, for me, is getting an 8 out of 10, guys. Let's continue. And last but certainly not least, we have Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the Crown Jewel Championship in a Champion vs. Champion match. Seth had a lot going into this match. He had a lot riding on this match. It was a lot of pressure for him. It was a lot of genuine good storytelling coming from both sides. Cody, needed Seth when they were in WrestleMania 40 together. Seth is now the leader of the vision that he believes would take WWE into the future, but he believes that he will never really reach those heights as long as he is behind Cody Rhodes. Once Cody Rhodes has those 3 victories over him, he'll never be where he needs to be. And I get that Seth has that looming over his head. I don't know, guys. This match was so good because of the friction of it all. And they weren't just finish spamming. You could even say that about the AJ and Cena match. Of course, I loved it. It moved me, but you could say that about the AJ Cena match. It was more of a finisher fest. This match was not like that. It was, coast to coast. Gritty kicks, back and forth and punches. They were trying to do as much damage as possible, and every little move counted. And I think it really played a huge part into why I was so invested in this match from start to finish. This was a much better match than the WrestlePalooza main event. And for us to get this match, I feel like WWE really wanted to say, I feel like we screwed up, the first time on WrestlePalooza, and now we're trying to make something a little bit different. Man, this is really good. I have to rate this match at least a 9 out of 10. It was fantastic. I loved this show. It was really good. Crown Jewel was good from start to finish. And I'm going to have to rate it an A. It was an A. It was an A show. It was great. It was those few great moments. If we had Tiffany really lowered it for me, and that's what's keeping it from being an S tier. But an A tier show, most definitely. I would definitely put it in the DBW score of elite because it was fantastic. You can even catch it on a good day, and I put it in Fuego. It was that good of a show. I'm looking forward to Survivor Series. I can't wait to check Raw this weekend. And guys, you guys like what you saw in this video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about Crown Jewel. Did it move you? If it did, please tell me the whole story. Check out social medias and let us know there as well. I am Jen. We are DBW. I will see you next time. Woo! Bye-bye.